the German doner kebab, and I was like, I didn't have that in time. And then I thought, what's around here? Then I saw Nando's.
No, you made the right choice, because I came a couple of weeks ago and bought. All good to go? Yeah? Thank you, Moses. Appreciate you, love.
Thank you. Time on to have a
Oh, we got a whole clock as well. We cannot be going over
Oh
time.
my God.
Dan set us up.
No. You guys can. There's nothing afterwards. I'm just there for your own. Like,
usually that's music to our ears.
Pods like topics, innit? So like, I know they like to stick to schedules.
Thank you, darling.
God.
No, that is really good.
Dan's got a good one in you, hon. I'm going to let him know.
Yeah, definitely.
Employee of the year. All right. Easy now.
Let's get comfortable.
Let's get comfortable.
Who sang that? Let's get comfortable.
I think we're out of tune.
Yeah.
But I do know the song.
No, I think she's singing
personal.
Yeah.
This is personal. Craig
That's
David.
not unusual.
It's Craig. It's not unusual.
Is that Craig? No, we won't do that. Physical.
No, babe.
That's what I'm getting.
No, I don't even know what. I don't get what energy I'm getting.
You can think. Okay, so. You can see that we are not, obviously, we're definitely not, how do you say, like, poet, is it poetess, like, what's the name of being a poet, like, is it a poet?
Do you know what?
Poetess.
When I came across the name, it was, because I was like, there was waiter, waitress, actor, actress, and I thought, poetess, and then I really thought that I made up the word.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
For a female poet.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's a real thing. But obviously it's an American thing. So when you type in the name poetess, it just says female poet. But there's a lot of people that are poetess. And then I found it so bizarre that when that whole Clubhouse app came out, and I went into like the Clubhouse, the spoken word rooms on Clubhouse, a lot of women were called poetess. And I was just like,
you're like,
do you know when you're like,
Run, you lot.
Yeah, you're just got dead names.
How
Like, what are
dare
you doing? What are you doing?
You're the first one I've heard.
Same.
I thought I made up the words.
Babe, so you did. You did because you know deep in your heart that you didn't see it somewhere else.
I didn't see it.
That.
I was just
take that.
Trying to make common sense.
And then it worked with your name
and
as well.
It worked with my name, Jess. So I'm the only poetess, Jess.
Right.
Like boom! Ain't no poetess, Jess.
Boom.
I'm the only one. So yeah.
Nice.
It.
No, it's beautiful. It's got a wonderful ring to it. So do you want us to refer to you throughout as Poetess Jess?
Whatever. I'm not fussed. I don't know. I'm here as Poetess Jess.
Yes.
But Jess might come out.
Exactly.
Jessica might come out. Jessie might
J.
come out.
A lot of syllables.
J may come out.
It's a lot of syllables.
Do you know what I mean?
But
let it flow.
Let it flow. Let it flow. That's going to happen a lot as well.
Let it go.
But you were singing Let It Burn.
Yeah, it's a whole song and dance up here.
I've got an actual lyricist in the building, so we are going to be called out for the field tonight.
100%.
Yeah. So guys, welcome to the Main Squeeze podcast with Asha and Dan, and a very, 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 very special guest in the building.
Yes.
We have with us the wonderful, the amazing, the talented.
Oh my gosh, guys.
The phenomenal.
Woo!
Izzy. Poetess Jess.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming.
Oh.
Twinning.
I'm a twin, you know.
Oh,
yeah. I'm a twin.
Identical?
No.
Okay.
We're fraternal, but I've got a twin sister. I'm the eldest by 30 seconds, but
yes, you got to claim.
I've got to claim that 30
seconds.
seconds. I've got to claim it.
Wonderful. What's her name?
Louise.
Louise, big
Hi,
up
Louise.
yourself,
Big up your
Louise.
chest, Louise.
Oh, that's nice. So are you... Go.
No, I was going to say, well, speaking of family, when I posted you on my page today, someone slid up in my DMs and was like, oh my God, that's my cousin. That's my cousin.
Do you know what? Yeah. A lot of people are claiming this cousin title. No, I'm joking.
Dion Grant.
Oh, Danelle.
Oh, that's it. I'm saying
Danelle. No, yeah, Danelle. That's my cousin. That's my cousin. Big up Danelle.
And then she said St. Lucian's. I was like, what's that?
Oh, the St. Lucia thing. You're from St.
Yeah,
Lucia?
so, but I'm not from St.
Well,
Lucia.
your
But I've got
family is
my
St.
family,
Lucian.
yeah, my family's St. Lucian and Dominican and Jamaican. But yeah, Danelle,
So that's family.
that's
So she
blood.
weren't claiming it. She weren't claiming
I was just with her on Saturday. We had our cousin turned 30, so we had a big family link up.
Oh,
So yeah, big up the
okay.
twist on.
Wonderful. Congratulations on the wedding.
Congratulations.
Wedding
Yeah, that's
or-
wedding. I think. Oh, did you say
No,
wedding or
birthday.
birthday?
Birthday.
Okay.
But I did go to a wedding as well.
See?
On Saturday. So you're in
See?
sync.
No.
You're just in sync.
But remember when you were younger, actually, you did used to claim people were your cousin when they blatantly were not.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
That's my cousin.
They're not cousins.
So your dad, who's your
Yeah.
dad and their mum?
Well, our
brothers
mums
or
are
like
friends.
what?
Yeah, they grew up together. That was the line. Our mums grew up together,
Yeah.
so that means
That's just
We're
cousins.
cousins.
That's
Say that
family.
Yeah.
I would say that's family.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
cousins is something.
Calm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
True.
Cousins is something totally deeper.
Yeah, man. Okay, so you're here.
Medea.
We are so lucky to have you. And I guess we'll start off by just talking a little bit about you. Well, first of all, how we met. What brought you onto this magnificent sofa here? I saw you at the live DMD, the DMD live, which Dan, I know unfortunately you were booked and busy as usual. But I just remember being in the crowd. So DMD, big up DMD first of all. Smokes and the Mandem.
Rome's Big Reds.
Easy. She finished it off. Call me ... Yeah, so I just remember being in the crowd. The boys had an amazing night a couple of weeks back. And I just remember being absolutely blown away by you on that stage doing your thing. It literally, the whole, not just the whole venue just stopped in their tracks. And it was just like, boom, focus. No one was talking. No, you could hear a pin drop outside of you speaking because everyone was just so like bam, and I was just like, who is that? Yo. That's our friend once again. Hello, Mr. Vance. Come in. You come now, so you might as well come and say hello. You've ruined the thing. So, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm alright.
Yes,
Just
good.
gate
good.
crashing a little bit.
And
Yeah,
once
just
again.
a little.
Yeah.
Once again. Good.
Yeah, once again, sorry. What's that about?
This, what's this about? Do you want to stand up and do a little twirl, Daniela?
So basically, I'm going roller skating afterwards, and it's Halloween fancy dress, and I'm a zebra, obviously. And I made my own costume.
Oh, snap.
Down
Round
to
of
the
applause.
I did make this,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I made ears, but I forgot them, which has really pissed me off.
But I feel like you don't need the ears.
And did you
At
drive
all.
or did you on public transport?
I got on public transport.
Oh,
People were looking at me like,
you're
bookers, and I'm like, shut your mouth.
You're
innit?
amazing. You're absolutely amazing.
I
So-
hear that.
Yeah.
I just came in to show love, that's it.
Okay, thank you. We
See you
appreciate
next
it.
week.
We'll see you in a bit.
All right.
Yeah, all right, love. Mr. Vance, once again, coming in every time. Mashing up the thing. So I just remember everyone was just stopping in their tracks, and I was just like, I have to speak to this girl. I literally have to speak
She
to this
told me
girl.
about it afterwards. She
Right.
was like, oh my god, Dad, she's amazing.
And then I think I must have just like clocked you then afterwards in the crowd. And yeah, it went from there.
Clocked me and
really.
everyone was trying to speak to me while I was speaking to her.
Okay.
Rude.
Please,
Have a
can I have my
conversation.
moment? You know? And then I was like, no, please come on and speak to me a little bit more.
And you did. I love that though. I love that. You know, some people be like, yeah, but they're too busy or they're too big.
Right.
Like, I'm not big though. I don't know.
Baby
no.
girl, you're doing your thing.
Just make sure you come on next year, yeah?
No,
When you're
100%.
big.
100.
But I think that's what's actually so beautiful about those kind of events, isn't it? You know, because you don't know who you're going to meet and you don't know who you're going to come into
Right.
contact with, and you don't know who's who either. You know, you don't really know who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I didn't know how big, inverted commas, you are. I know you're saying you don't feel like you are, but you know, I didn't know. All I knew is what you were speaking about was so powerful and resonated
You
so
wanted to
much
speak
because
to
of just the realness of it all, the way you deliver it. You know, as I say, the things that you talk about, the things that you know, So it was a no-brainer for me. I was like, gotta have her on. Gotta get to know this girl a little bit more.
No, it's amazing to be here.
Aww.
And sometimes I like to get invited to things.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People will like not invite you because they'll be like, "Oh, she wouldn't come." So people will probably want to, but be like, "Oh no, I don't know." Like feel a bit intimidated by you. So yeah, did you hear that, guys? She likes to be invited.
I was on DMD on Sunday.
I saw.
That was awesome to be with the Mandem, especially because they gave me the platform as well.
Yes.
And had I not been at DMD, I would not be here.
Yes.
So no, honestly, I'm grateful for the invite, and I'll definitely be back.
Beautiful. Yes. Well, we'll see at the end how you feel about that. I'm not come back. Okay, so please tell us a little bit about yourself.
How I
got started. Oh my gosh, I feel like Sunday rewinding again. All right, so how I got started. So I would say, I'm not. It's a bit of an oxymoron, but I'm not a poet that actually likes poetry.
Oh.
I don't go and look at other poets.
Okay.
I never ever, when I was younger, said, "Oh my gosh, I want to be a poet." I did really like English, but it wasn't like, I want to be a poet, that's what I want to be. That was never ever the case. So growing up...
Sorry, did you want to be in like musical at all? Was that, or did you want to be in the kind of creative arts, or was it just...
I don't know, like, there wasn't any specific... There was not something...
You weren't following at that moment to kind of... Okay.
There wasn't that stress of... What do you want to be when you're old? Like, I never said like a doctor or... I didn't know, but I did know that I liked the arts. I was an extra kid. I was a naughty kid. But I did like the arts, but I never said, oh, I want to be an actor or anything like that.
Right.
I just sort of went with the flow of life. Kind of grew up in the church. Like, my parents weren't saved, but I would go with my grandparents or like my godfather. And... as a child, one thing that I know that I did was I would write down lyrics to songs. So I would know the song, but I would just write down the lyrics to them.
Okay, this is like a hobby type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's a bit weird. I would go to the shop, buy pen and paper or pad, and I would literally write down lyrics to songs that I already knew. Most people would like go on the internet, or that time the internet wasn't even around, it was dial up. Yeah. You know when mum was on the phone, the internet would stop working. AOL, or when they had like the BD Connect and it would just spin around on the memories. So I would do that, and I had a thing about handwriting. I don't know, even up until this day, like if your handwriting wasn't neat, it just it jars me. I was saying,
took some calligraphy there.
I know. I was saying to the boys on Sunday, like, I've got a thing about handwriting, and I don't know if it's because I was right. I would always write, but it's just a thing that stayed with me. So I would write down lyrics to songs that I knew, songs that I heard. Just write them down, but I just never ever thought anything of it. So, I went to a school in Essex, in Wanstead. It was an all-white school, and I was the only black girl in my class.
Wow. Oh wow! In the class, in the school? Like...
Not in the school, no. I'm a twin, remember?
And
there were other black kids there. It was the majority were white,
right?
Than diverse.
But that's still
this is primary school.
But that's still quite an intense situation, though, isn't it?
Intense, but you know what? That race wasn't really a thing,
right?
Or not how it is now.
Yeah.
I'd never come across like, oh, you're black. It was.
Okay.
I never ever felt like the odd one out.
Right.
Basically.
Okay. It wasn't.
You know, some kids can say, "Oh my gosh, I'm the only black child."
I
never ever noticed that until I went into secondary school, and I went to a school in Newham, because I'm born and grow in Newham, the borough of Newham. Bam bam, Newham Generals. East London. So I'm originally from East London, and the only time that I saw a lot of black people was when I went to family functions.
Okay.
Family functions, because my family was really big. That was the only time I saw black
groups. Like.
Big, yeah. So the transition from primary school to secondary school was like, wow, talk about culture.
You were seeing something.
Seeing things, and then it wasn't just that. I'm seeing different black people. So I'm not just seeing black Caribbeans, I'm seeing black Africans. Like, it's just like, whoa.
Opened up a whole new world.
Opened up a whole new world. And then it sort of, I would say, opened up my blackness.
Yeah.
Not to say that I was white, but it just like, oh, whoa. Like...
Sorry, just a little backtrack then. So how come you were in Essex, if you don't mind? Is that
So
your parents?
so everyone born and bred in Newham, Manor Park to be precise. But when my mum had us, she moved out to Wanstead.
Okay.
And
Was that to get out of the area?
No, it was just... Do you know what? To be fair, Wanstead is a bus ride from where we used to live.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a straight one bus.
Yeah.
So say for instance, Manor Park's here, Wanstead's there, you would get on a 101 bus and it would take you
all the way
straight, literally.
Okay. So it's just a move.
It was just a
Yeah.
move.
Okay.
Because we had we had a family house, my nan was there, so it was just like
sense.
just to move.
Okay.
So she moved to Wanstead, and then the closest school
Was that school?
was Aldersbrook, and then that again. Another bus journey, the same 101 bus, and not even a bus journey. It was a walk up the road, so it wasn't anything to get out of anywhere.
Right.
It was just
the way it went.
Yeah, that's from what I know, innit?
Okay.
Yeah.
My mum could say
It's
something.
none of your business.
Yeah, ain't my business.
Yeah, come in.
Yeah,
Big people them
yeah,
business.
big people talk. So
Right.
it was just that was just it.
Okay.
To me, from what I know, from what I understand,
That's simple.
it was just a move.
Okay.
So
now you've kind of seen that you're seeing these new cultures, you're being
new
exposed
cultures.
to.
So I moved. So what happened was, my mum and dad's house. So backstory. Growing up as a child, my dad's hold tight
Big
phantom.
up dad.
he was on drugs, innit? He was a big drugs man
Right.
in New York, so every man knew him.
Okay.
So because of that whole situation, our house got repossessed. So we moved back to the family house in Manor Park.
Right.
And because we moved back to the family house in Manor Park, I then had to go, not that I had to go, because my older brother went to Wanstead High.
Okay.
Until my mum was like, nah, Deds, you're going to go to this school. So my brother was in Wanstead High, left Wanstead High because of it racially being
A bit of
an issue, and he put him in Kingsford in Beckton.
a nicer little
And
setup.
where there's more representation of himself.
Okay.
And at the time, Kingsford was more or less a brand new school. So it wasn't like the schools that had been there for ages in Newham, like St Angela's and Brampton and all of those schools. It was more of a recent new school. So because he went there,
It made
we
sense.
went there.
Yeah.
Right. Well, me and my sister, because I've got a younger brother, but he didn't go there.
Okay.
Because Kingsford was just a bad school.
Alright.
So when I went to Kingsford, it was, wow, culture.
Amazing.
Like, you can go into I could literally go in, sing a 1-2 Beres Hammond song, and someone would be like, I know that song!
Yeah.
Like, hey little girl, and everyone's going mad. I'm like, what?
You know, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I'm like, you're just like, how do you
That's crazy.
yeah, it's impactful because you're like, now
I feel a part
I can be
now. I feel
myself.
like a part.
yeah, not that I wasn't myself before, but it was just like mind blowing to know that you know the same song as me, and we're not family.
Yeah.
Right.
You get it?
So your family that you knew.
Yeah,
kind of,
we're not
right.
family. Like, you know the song, and then we
Yeah.
could. So it was so
Beautiful.
refreshing just to be able to.
I like it here.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it, and then thank God I like it. Definitely. So that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. It was that you can relate to me on now such a deeper level. I can now connect with you. And maybe even if I was, I know for a fact that if I was in Aldersbrook, they would not know the song.
Nah, sir.
So-
So, do you know what? Just cutting it slightly. That's
No.
actually quite interesting because I had a similar experience, being growing up in Liverpool, and then my dad moved to London when me and my sister were about maybe 12. She's 2 years older, so she'd been about 14. And I just remember coming to London. I spoke about this on the pod before, but obviously Poetess Jess hasn't heard it. So when I used to come to London, and my dad lived in Tottenham, me and my sister were just like mesmerised by, walking down Seven Sisters High Street and seeing like you say, people that look like us, seeing shops with, you know, black hair products in, black magazines with black faces on, and yeah, it was like we like it here, and we want to have more of this, you know. So I can somewhat relate to that.
It's like going Brixton and you just hear the vibes and you just want to hold a little wine on the road.
I can chill. But it's like my experience of that happened when I was a little bit younger. So I went my first primary school that I went to was called Hampton Gurney. It was on Edgware Road, and my sister was in there. So basically, it was my sister, my cousin, my other cousin, one more cousin, and me. But we were all in different years.
Okay.
So I was the youngest, and I think I was there for 2 years. But I was the only black girl in my class. There was one other black girl, but her name was Doreen, and she's the only person I remember from this school, but she was always sick. So most of the time I was so aware, and I don't remember anything in particular happening, but I just remember being so aware that I was the only black girl. So when my sister left the school to go secondary school, she's 4 years older than me. My mum just moved me out and moved me to another school that was a bit closer, and then I went to a school called St Mary's of the Angels. Bashi went there as well. It's full of angels.
Yes.
And
sounds like a beautiful school.
Yeah, but I walked into my classroom on my first day and I just saw black girls. Black people, like, you know, but it was probably maybe only about 10 of us in the class.
But enough.
And I was just like,
that's two handfuls.
Yeah. And then when it was break time, like the teacher made me stand up, introduce myself, and I was like, hi, my name's Daniela. I remember all of this. Then I went outside at playtime and all these black girls came around me.
Surrounding
like,
you.
These 5 black girls, and they're like,
magnets.
Daniela, do you want to play with us? No, Danielle was Danielle then.
Right.
And I was like,
yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I remember that feeling of, wow, they're my friends. Like, they've accepted me, and just running around and just feeling, that feeling of happiness went from, I was 7 when I moved to
That's
that
mad though, because having that awareness, because that never ever, when I was in primary school, black, white, Asian, that didn't even cross my mind.
Right. I don't know, and that's the thing, I think it's weird that I was aware.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, and I blocked it out. Because there's a lot of things from school, this sounds really weird, it's going a bit deep, but there's a lot of things from that age that I actually don't remember. I just am like, I don't know, I don't remember that. But that feeling of school, feeling like I was the only black kid, and knowing that I was the only black kid, and feeling left out, and feeling accepted when I went to the other school, that I remember like it was yesterday.
Wow,
so
that's beautiful.
That's mad. But yeah, I'm in Kingsford now, and I'm seeing black people, and I'm loving it, because now I'm like, even to the point of knowing how to wine and stuff different.
That's important.
That's the first.
No, you're just like, not that it wasn't.
No, joke.
But do you know what? What I did realise was that my rudeness came out.
Okay.
So I got to a point where teachers, black teachers, you couldn't have chat for Jess, you know.
Okay.
It wasn't. If you thought you could have chat, you couldn't have chat for me, because I would. I'd have. It's like I needed to let them know that I'm a black rude girl. I don't know what it. I couldn't tell you.
Right.
I couldn't tell you, but I always had a comeback.
Okay.
Always. Like, my mum was always down the school, and because most time when my mum came down the school, my mum put teachers in their place as well, because it's like, why are you bringing me down the school for this?
For this rudeness.
For this rubbish. Yeah.
Deal with the.
I remember. I said something. I think we went from a period where we changed our school uniform, and so it went from like the normal cotton
hat, like
no. What's it? Collared. It wasn't a shirt though. It was just a normal collared.
Oh, like the shirt.
Yeah, the shirt. Yeah, polo top.
Go.
Right, and the jumper. And then when I got into year 9, they were doing this whole blazer, tie, shirt, skirt, the whole shebang. And what happened, because our school used to finish at 2:45.
Lovely.
And you needed this yellow slip to get out. Or if you had an older sibling,
you could go to get
you
there.
could get out, I think, at 2:15. Yeah, I don't know. I can't
Half a
remember
day.
what kind of it was. So we started, I think, at 7:45, and we finished at 2.
So you started school at 7:45.
Yeah,
They just made up their own time.
They were the first school to do it.
They're the only school that I know.
No, Newham, that thing went across the whole.
Really?
It went across the whole border of Newham. Yeah.
Okay.
It became a thing. So finishing school earlier, and if you had a yellow slip, you was able to leave with your older brother or older sister. So luckily I had an older brother and whatnot. But I remember I didn't come into school with a tie, and they tried to send me home. And I'm thinking, I'm not getting the 101 that takes me probably half an hour to get here all the way home.
Back
are you nuts?
For this?
Are you crazy?
Call mama.
And they were like, you're going home. And I remember it was Miss Pears.
You know when you remember the name?
It was Miss Pears. And I was thinking, this lady, she was St. Lucian as well. That's what Bunny as well. She was sent.
Now you want to give her the sis.
Yeah, I
want auntie.
So she come and you're like, you're going home. And I was like, what do you mean I'm going home? I said, do you know where I live? I said, do you know? She was like, go home and get your tie.
Wow.
So I think, yeah.
Did you say something?
I think I said RCBC in it. I thought I was big. And she was like, what?
Master Clark.
Yeah.
Bomber Clark. Oh. Did you see me? So I was just like, we both done the same thing.
Sorry.
And you got it.
Do you know what? I thought people just knew what RCBC meant.
No,
I've never heard it.
No?
You're Jamaican and you've not heard RCBC.
I mean, I say
No. Oh, those same people say RCBC.
Like
so if you're not
using
if you're around,
RCBC.
maybe someone
Yeah.
Sounds so good. I'm using that.
Yeah.
So I think I said RCBC.
But not RCBC.
But no, I said the actual RCBC.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Not RCBC. Yeah. And I said it,
Right.
and I think she tried to call my mum. Well, she didn't try. She called my mum.
She got through.
And my mum came down to school, and she sent me home, and she told me not to come back. She rang my house, and my mum just said, I've got to come to your school tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
So my heart's now beating in it, because I'm like,
Now
okay,
mum's got to take time.
Mum's got to take time.
Oh
Okay,
my
cool.
God.
Mum's come to the school now, and they
Did
handed
she
her the
say
paper.
RCBC?
My mum. No. So she handed the paper, and it was so the things that I had said. So she said to me, "Did you say that? Did you say that?" So I am now like, bruh. If I confess, yeah. I said, I don't know. Do I lie? Do I confess? What do I do? So I ended up saying no. And then she came back. Anyway, all I know is that my mum cussed me off in front of the teachers, innit? Anyway, she cussed me off. She didn't even hear what Miss Pearson had to say. And she walked out. And then the teacher started smirking. So I went back home and I said, Mum,
Just so you know.
just so you know, you cussed me. Okay, I'll give you that. But this is what happened when you left. My mum dialed quickly. Call. Answered, can I speak to so-and-so? My mum gave her the cussing of her life. So when I came back to school the next day, I was like,
you're smirking.
what are you saying? What? I just
smirk?
looked at her. She couldn't even look. She she couldn't even look in my face. Like her eye and my eye couldn't even make four.
Crazy.
So yeah, going back to my story, we went off track.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
So going back, so growing up in that era, grime was on the rise.
Okay,
That's when grime started to come out, like that 2K5, wow.
J2K.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
No, I meant 2005 too.
You meant J2K.
But I know who you're talking about. They do that hands in the air.
Yeah,
It was when Channel U was.
I thought J2K was a person.
Oh no, but there was
It's a
actual.
person, isn't
No,
it?
but what is that group? Do you know Channel U had like?
Yeah.
Do you know Channel U?
Yeah, man.
So Channel U was like,
U.
I think it was 346.
Was it 346 or 424, something like that?
No, it was 346.
Was it 346?
Or 376 before it changed.
Right, it
and
was
became
always
Channel
like a bit. The picture was never so clear.
Yeah.
It was like the unclear channel.
Yeah,
Why? I used
So-
to love that. Yeah, so you used to have to text to get
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
videos.
Oh my gosh, that is so old school. I forgot about
You used to
that.
have to text.
Wow.
Yeah, man,
Yes.
£50p or whatever it, £1.20
Wow.
or something.
It's
The
a
good
penny.
days. The good
Yeah,
days,
back
man.
in the before it became like a.
Just a regular
Maybe I
thing.
weren't watching it before then.
You would have to normally
It'd go across the bottom.
across the bottom of the screen.
For all the songs.
with all the songs that you'd have to text.
Brilliant.
And then they updated
Yes,
it
that's
to
it,
where
yeah,
you could
yeah.
see your text and who, like a
Brilliant.
BBM chat and what you said.
Remember that.
Yeah, and then
I
it
love
came. That came off, and it was like we're playing any song now, innit?
Yeah.
Because we're like that.
Just
We're big
watch,
like that.
yeah.
Just watch.
I love that we were even a part of that though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love having that memory to know that it wasn't always just so simple, just to go on YouTube and listen.
And this
watch
generation
whatever.
don't know about that, you
That's
know.
what
They
I'm
have no
saying.
clue.
They don't know.
Yeah.
They really don't
don't
know.
feel like
We
They don't
are
know about
actually
waiting for
lucky.
internet.
They don't know about
And
my
dial
phone.
up.
They
I
don't
know,
know
but
what I do.
About my phone. They don't know where I go.
Wasn't it Oxide and Neutrino? Yeah. Oh my god.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Okay, so you're watching Channel
So
U,
I
you're seeing the
Channel U,
rise.
and it was a rise. It was like, what is this music? And
Mad.
it was a UK. It wasn't an American thing. It was
UK thing, dedication.
UK.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh my days.
Okay.
These people are from ends, and especially when you had people from East London like Getz. You had
Okay.
Crazy Titch at the time. before
Crazy
he
Titch,
kind of
yes.
Went a bit left.
Yeah, he did.
Crazy.
I just remember he was always fast and
Yeah, like I can see you, you can see me, I can see you on that JTG. You can see YMC.
Duh.
Yeah, Titchy Strider, like all of those guys, like
Yeah. That was
Wiley.
the beginning.
That
Do you
was
feel like they did pave the way? They
they
literally
did.
paved the way for
That-
these boys now.
no one can ever chat. All of
Yeah.
these, no one, because they were not even just doing it. It was a thing where they were doing it in basements and recording it
yeah.
themselves and then sending in the videos. So we had DVDs like Lord of the Mics.
Right, okay.
Like,
This was all CDs.
It was all
wasn't it?
CDs
Yeah.
and
Standing on
DVDs.
corner giving out their CDs to
Yeah.
buy what's that? What's the body thing on in Tottenham? There was the big shop on the corner, Body Works or Body Shop or CD something. Whoever's listening and knows Tottenham will know the shop I'm talking about. And they used to sell all the instruments and all the tunes and all the things. And yeah, there'd always be people
Yeah.
standing outside
Giving out, flying
their
out. And it wasn't a
CDs.
thing, and I don't even think they thought it would blow.
Right.
But
yes.
it was what they would do, and I remember they had like the Nasty Crews and stuff like, and it was clean battling.
Right.
It wasn't
yes.
how we got postcode wars and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was that
Okay,
this
that's a
Nasty
good way.
Crew is from like I think it was like Escobars that Whiteley had, so it was like Newham against Bow E3, and they would come together, they would have a clash over an instrumental, and boom,
Right.
record it
That's
in a
it.
basement,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah.
And I loved that. And then that was the thing that they brought into school. So I remember break time. I don't remember if you had like the Sony Ericsson phone, the Walkman, the black and orange one.
Yeah.
And you know when infrared was at the top and you had to put the phones together.
Absolutely dead.
And I remember the boys would always at break time have an instrumental, and the one instrumental was banging for a while. There was two. There was the Ghetto Coyote, and there was this what was it? Was it Benga and Nights? It was
Oh, that goes off.
So that
Love
went
it.
off, and I
Yes.
remember when that instrumental came off,
Tune.
yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, everyone had to just write to it
Over that, yeah.
and just record themselves, because we didn't have Snapchat.
No.
We didn't have none of those things. It was just that you had your phone, someone would record, and that was it. No, we didn't have all this social
send it
media
here or
to
send
send
it
it
there.
in. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because I loved the wordplay. I loved how they used their lyrics, the substance. Even when they would cuss each other's mums, it was just so like, yeah, that was hard. That was hard.
As opposed
And they
to,
all took it
I'm
as a
gonna-
joke. It wasn't.
You know, so I'm going to go in my house, get the knife,
Yeah,
and now you're
yeah.
going to get shanked.
No,
Type
it
of
was
thing.
all
Yeah.
it was all fun. It was all fun and games, and especially not just that, but Kano's my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Big
so
up Kano. Oh, hello.
big up
Hi.
HSK.
Okay.
So
Love
yeah,
that.
Kane was my cousin, and
You must be super proud of you right now.
yeah,
That was
he-
actually one of my questions I have in your family. Yeah, must be. Seeing you come up like this.
yeah, and especially to know that I done it without him.
Oh.
Yeah, and I
There was
honestly.
no phone call to be like,
Nah,
listen,
yeah, and I think a lot of
no.
people think that like me
Right.
being on like
Well-
Mobos and stuff like that, like he
Okay.
was that had no.
Well, they'd have to know he's your cousin.
Yeah,
and
we'd
I
have to-
didn't
and
know that. So
no.
I mean, I know people who maybe know you a bit
You'll-
more know.
yeah.
But,
But
okay.
no, he's nothing behind like.
Yeah, man. Do you
Yeah,
think,
nothing
do you
behind
think
it.
You've got
So
yeah,
it was
okay.
that like, rah, I want to be the first girl
Right.
to, jump on a beat. But obviously you saw like the Lady Sovereigns, you saw the Shiesties, you saw the Lioness, like you saw all of them, and I was like, no, but in school, no one's doing it.
Right.
Let me be the first. And I remember I went home and I practiced, I wrote down my bars, I was ready to spit this 16, get it on lock, and for everyone to be like, oh yeah, Jess, you're hard, you're hard. Anyway, break time came, and I believe I was in year 10. Break time came, and all the guys were behind, and all and I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm bopping my head. Every man's bopping,
big
spitting
crowd,
their bars. You got a big crowd, and you're just boys in their halls in the back, and they're like, boom, going in. So it got to me now, and you know you're meant to go on the beat, innit?
Flop. I'm
but it's okay. Listen, Yaffy.
Me, I couldn't do it on beat.
Right.
Couldn't
But you practice, babe.
Babe, but what I
told the pressure, like the build up.
It was just
lot.
It was just mad. And you know what? It was embarrassing because
Embarrassing
because you know what? I remember because grime was on the rise, and it's like, and I was saying this to the guys as well. Famous people can't have family for some odd reason. Because I was saying to them like, Kano's my cousin. And they were like, no, you ain't your cousin. You're a liar. You're da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And Kane came to my school, and that had nothing to do with me.
Okay.
He came to my school to perform, and I went up to him and I was like
did he not tell you he was coming?
No, I didn't know. I had nothing to do.
Brilliant.
I just didn't know. Him and his brother came.
When they used to do tours, remember when they used to do tours around schools? That was amazing.
So he came and he done a little performance, and I went up to him and like gave him a hug, and he was like, "You're alright."
Brilliant.
And all the kids were like, "Oh my God, Kano's her cousin!" Oh, let me get a and I was thinking, but they were getting gas, and I'm like, "Brother, this is kind of a bit
normal for me, regular."
Normal, I told you.
It's a bit normal for me. So yeah, so it was just knowing that Kane's my cousin, and
it's a bit of confidence as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, you know your own talents and what you're doing, but that is a nice little boost.
Yeah, it was a little boost,
yeah,
but it was a boost that went terribly wrong. Like it just, I don't know what I don't know. It just didn't go to plan, innit?
So from there then, when that happened, how did you kind of...
So from there, you got to take the L.
Yeah, man.
You
that's
can't...
what I'm saying, yeah.
You got to take it. It is what it is. Like, they're going to talk about it for 40 days and 40 nights.
And then there'll be chip shop paper in it.
That's it. It's old news until something else happened.
Exactly.
And with my school, because it was such a bad school... Something
something's happening.
Always. There was always police outside my school.
Okay.
And that's when the whole stabbing started. And I don't know if not the first, because I think Charlotte was the first, but there was Adam Regis in 2000 and...
Actually, that sounds familiar.
2005, he got stabbed. He was on his way home from the cinema. He was talking to his girlfriend.
Rings a bell.
And then he got stabbed. And then from there was just like a line
pandemic. Is it a pandemic? No, it's not a pandemic. Epidemic. Like where it's just happening more and more.
There was just a line of just deaths happening, and it was within my school. And I think that year, there was like 5 deaths.
Wow.
So we were under the news. And they were so young. It was just crazy. It was
mad time.
So there was always police outside my school and things like that. So I wasn't the talk of the town.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Okay.
So in saying that, my friend, when I told my friend, bruh, this is what happened to me at school today, and after she done her big laughing and everything, she sent me a video of this spoken word group called P4CM, and they were Poets for Christ movement. They were a Christian movement. But when I looked at them, I was like, oh my days. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
It's offbeat.
Right.
It's passionate.
Right.
And I was like, oh,
that's the one. That's
it.
for me.
That's it.
That's it.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Big
but then
friends.
Big up Sunita.
One, Sunita.
Yeah.
What you needed at that time.
Yeah. So she sent me that, and I was like, wow, mad. And then from there on, even though that is something that I wanted to do, I never done it.
Yeah.
You were still a little bit...
Not that I was taken back, but it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It was an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, I'm thinking like New York, dark,
Yeah.
little underground club.
It wasn't-
the spoken word thing.
Yeah,
That's what I
spoken
think.
word poetry.
Yeah.
You say that over there, and people are laughing at you. Like,
Yeah, it's a little bit kind of.
it wasn't a thing, so I never ever took it in. The only time that I would do like spoken word, or not even that, the only time I would do it, I had this maybe two different pieces, and I'd done them like at church services, youth.
Okay.
Other than that, I wasn't.
Out
And
here.
yeah, and
Right.
I was just like, oh, maybe this is just a hobby. I never thought it would be.
Come to
Yeah.
fruition for anything. Okay.
So for a while, so I would say from that time, even from that time till 2017, let's be very honest.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's a very long time.
Nice.
It was soul searching. It was trying to find what I want to do. Because even when I left school, I went to college. I done journalism because I liked to write. So I just tried little things
Yeah,
that I
man.
thought would
align with
what I
you're
wanted.
interested in. Yeah,
Right.
Must-
So I
must-
done
must do that.
journalism. I done creative writing. I done retail. I didn't go to uni. I said I'm not going to uni. When I saw how it was pressuring for my friends and like them staying up 24 hours just to get dissertation, and I was like, uni's not for me. And I've understood uni's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
If
Yeah,
if you're listening to this and you're deciding that you don't want to go uni, please
Don't do it.
Don't do it because your friends are doing it. It's not that deep.
Right.
I would say get a job. I got a job.
Yeah.
I got a job.
Yeah.
I worked in retail. I done and I'm not ashamed. I done Primark and I done Marks and Spencers, and I think Marks and Spencers was my best job because I was getting PM. Marks and Spencers pays good
Listen,
money.
I've
Yeah.
had that. I've actually had
Really?
Marks money.
Do you know Marks and Spencers? I was working in the one in Oxford Street. Yeah, and
the big
Flagship,
boy one,
right?
the big boy one.
no,
Flagship.
The Marble Arch one.
no, the one Oxford.
Also,
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
Marble
so-
Arch is flagship.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
The And for some reason, so my brother's girlfriend worked there, and what they do is they do this in-house. So first, if you want, like, for the co-workers,
they'll say, do
you know anyone? And they give out. So I went in, and normally it's just by chance that when I went in, I got the job, and they gave me a 7-month contract. Normally, what they do is with temps is that they give you 1 month and then they extend it.
Yeah.
But me, I don't know why me, I was the only one that got 7 months. And when you're a temp,
You're staying,
you're
yeah.
staying, and then when you're a temp, also you get paid weekly.
Right.
So if you're permanent, you
get
get
a
paid
monthly.
monthly. But temp, you get paid weekly. So when £300 was coming in my account every Tuesday, I was just like,
Nice.
I'm like, I can stay here forever. And do you know what? In some way, I'm not gonna lie, I took the piss in Marks and Spencers.
Okay.
And if you're listening and you know who I am, bro, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I took the piss. And whereas like they had like they were training up managers in it, and they were more or less like my age as well. It was like, I'm doing tills. I'm not doing tills because I think they wanted me to work in fridges. I was like, bruv, no, I'm anemic. I'm not working in fridges. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they would put me in the women's, and then they started getting me to do voiceovers for the jingles.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's
So
another voiceover.
I loved Marks and Spencers. I'm telling you, anyone that's looking for a job, Marks and Spencers.
Okay.
I used to work
pay
up the
great
road
money.
from you in Nike Town.
Really? Yeah, it's just
Nike Town, London. Swoosh.
Yeah.
So you say Nike?
Yeah, it's Nike Town.
Nike.
Did you not say Nike Town?
No, it's Nike.
It's Nike.
Yeah.
When?
That's
And
what
it's not a
they're
ticket
told
to
say.
swoosh. Like,
Yeah.
standard.
So they
Swoosh.
tell you it's Nike.
Yeah. I
So-
remember that. It was a shock to me as well,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So all these years we've been saying Nike.
It's Nike. Yeah.
So Americans have been right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought they just added emphasis on the E, like,
Yeah,
because
okay.
like anti, like, do you know what I mean? So I just thought,
Okay.
because they're like multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like,
they
because
love
it's
a tie.
I, so they like the
They
I,
love
the
that.
E. So I thought they just like to say the E's and the I's.
No, it's Nike.
It's
man.
Nike.
Which is a bit random because there's no IE or it's a bit, but I guess maybe, what is Nike? Is it, where's it from? Is it French
Oregon.
or
Oregon.
As in the US?
Oh, so it's you. Shame. What about?
If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I was a trainer.
No, because my friend worked in the one in Liverpool, and she said that she had to drum it into them, and if they were heard to be saying Nike on the floor to customers, then on the shop floor,
No,
they'd
but
be in trouble.
I'm sure I've been
Sorry,
into
guys.
Nike. I've been into Nike, and people have said Nike.
The training is different. When I worked there, I actually done customer service training, and so now I apply that to everything. When I go place, I'm like, they surely haven't done customer service training.
Okay.
Oh, stop it. You're one of those. You're one of them.
So I have to listen about your weekend. You're getting drunk.
But no, I think definitely working in retail as well. I think living in London and working in retail is definitely a thing. I think most of us, that was my first job when I moved to London. I worked in Lacoste. But when I know,
you got prestige. You got prestige.
No, listen, I'd never worked in retail before, moved to London, couldn't believe, actually, again, I've spoken about this before, but I remember coming to London and going to Oxford Street and going into all the retail stores.
How do you do your CV?
Doing that, but not only that, seeing black people working on the tills on the shop floor. I'd never seen that in Liverpool. I'd never walked into Topshop and seen a black girl or guy working on the shop floor. And I was like, no,
they're black.
Wonderful to me.
Topshop.
So that was it, and I was like, this is for me. Not only did I go around handing out my CV, I went down Knightsbridge initially. Oh. I was going into Dior. And
you got bright. Your chest got high. Because I was, do you know what? Yeah, I think
my little CV with nothing on it except for my address.
No, your chest was high because when going into Uxbridge and them places, I'm like, I know you definitely want white people in it, so I'm not going to try it. You're bright, but you know what? I commend you.
Listen, you got it in high, and then I got the Lacoste, so it balanced out.
It balanced out. Yeah, you got the prestige job because if you worked in Primark or one of those hectic.
Yeah, Lacoste is that one where all you're doing all day is just literally folding and making sure, because when you go into Lacoste, everything's all like.
Did you have folding boards?
Holding boards.
Folding boards. Gap.
Yeah, but I didn't need that in the end.
Gap as well, yeah.
I didn't need the folding boards because I could do it by hand and by visual.
Yeah. You get used to it.
Yeah.
See, Primark, because you just go in there cussing people.
I couldn't do that.
can imagine.
But I do think that, university definitely isn't for everyone.
It's
not for everyone, and I feel like, especially nowadays, there's definitely more avenues. Education is key. If you want, I feel like you can still be doing what you want to do in terms of following your dreams, and then still be educating yourself in a next way, whether that's just reading books that 100%. Interest you or finding different avenues. Doesn't necessarily have to be going to uni, and fixating on one specific subject. There's definitely different avenues now.
And to be honest, when you come out of uni, if you just look at the track record, not everybody even finds their field.
Yeah, that's it. Most of my friends that I know went to uni, they're not even doing anything.
That thing.
And I think so many people are so multifaceted now.
Ooh. With the
Okay, big words.
It's not time, honey.
So many people are so let me say it twice. It was so good, I gotta say it twice. They're so multifaceted that one thing is not even enough. Like, the whole saying, what's it? Jack of all trades.
Yes. But do you know the whole saying?
It's the whole saying.
We only say half of it.
The Jack of all trades. Was it?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
But
good. I think it's like
some
good out. No.
That would rhyme.
Basically, what it's saying is that
don't be overdoing it.
If you're the jack of all trades, you're not
concentrating
you've got
on
more.
One thing.
You can do more with it.
Oh, sorry.
Basically.
But you're good at you're more balanced, or you're better in one area than you are in the rest of them that you already know.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
it's a bit of that, a bit of that, a bit of that, a bit of that. I could focus on one thing and give it my all, but I enjoyed that and that and that and that and that, and I think it's nice to give yourself to these things that you enjoy. Otherwise, you're stealing from yourself
and limiting yourself as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Mom, I know you hate me saying this, but the Panna Chocolate definitely did teach us that anyway.
Yeah.
Because having one thing may not have got you through that time. Do you know what I'm saying? If you were multifaceted, then you may have been able to apply yourself differently around that time and still make your money or still have some enjoyment.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So, man.
I was going to say, Jess, speaking of multifaceted.
Okay.
Asha and I are quite multifaceted.
Don't you know?
I wouldn't put it past you two.
Well, basically...
You make your own clothes. You are on a podcast.
And
you're a zebra. That's 3 things already. That's a whole 3 things already.
What?
And you're a hairdresser.
Makeup artist.
And you're a makeup... Look, see, look at that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But because we knew you was coming on, we did write poems.
Oh, wow, you guys, you didn't.
For you to judge us.
Oh no! Oh my god.
So basically, Asha wrote hers or plagiarised. I don't know what she done. On the way here because I told her that I'd done mine and she was like, "What, you done it? Oh my god, I'm gonna write something."
No, we
now.
spoke when we're gonna get back to Sorry, she obviously can't wait to sing her tune, but
Sing.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Speak, Asha.
So we said,
sing.
let's both write a poem. So I've been like super crazy busy. I know she's been super, so we haven't spoken about it since. I'm in the kebab shop just now, and I said, I'm just getting me kebab, and she said, oh, something about the poem, and I said, what? I said, what? She said, yeah, I've got my poem. I said, no, I've got to go. I've got to go.
She literally ran me off. She's like,
I've got to go. I've got bars to write. So, okay.
Alright, so who's going first?
You go first. I'll film you.
Go first.
I will film you.
sorry.
Wait, can I film this?
Yeah.
So basically, you're judging us on originality and on performance. So I would appreciate if people give me the click because it is spoken word. So okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Now, I sit in silence and began to think as laughter echoed through the air. I can't get you off my mind, but a whole new love I could never bear. So now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep.
That's not original.
And just let me finish. And if I die before I wake,
I pray my soul, the Lord.
Go ahead.
then I promise I'll be there for you. No, don't ruin my poem. Then I promise I'll be there for you always.
Do you know what?
That was actually.
Do you know when you try to say things and you think people would know? Those are them prayers you had to say before bed.
We all know the Lord's Prayer out here.
Oh
if you don't,
my gosh, that was the prayer that I had to say before I go to bed.
That was beautiful, Dan. So it was half yours.
No, but she said originality.
And half the Lord's. Is that what we're doing here?
No, it was all mine.
You did give it some originality. So
You gave it, but you gave it some.
I'm very happy.
Okay, it was Drew Hill's 5 steps, okay?
Was it?
It was Drew Hill's 5 steps.
Oh, yes.
The next part of the song is, I was 5 steps, but I made it my own. I was 4 steps past love and free wishes. Said you know it.
You know it.
See, do you know what? I made it original. I made it my own.
I don't feel. I need to. Okay. So I'll say with mine, what I did is
Plagiarised.
No, I didn't plagiarise. What I did is, with the time that I had, I was like, do you know what? I've got a note pad full of quotes that I've heard, right? So what I did, if this isn't originality, I don't know what it is. And then I basically look at all the quotes. I've got bare quotes on my phone, so I just quickly looked at the quotes and saw what worked and what worked. And here we go.
Let's see.
Okay.
I'm making the most of this shit and more. How can anybody tell you the truth when they are misinformed? Inner standing, looking into oneself and evaluating. Rest, reflect, redefine, rejuvenating. There is no force equal to a woman determined to rise. She automatically becomes astronomically fine. If you don't risk anything, you risk even more. If it wasn't for these pics, they wouldn't see me at all. Something amazing happens when you start setting milestones, and every step takes you closer to your end goal. Be a pure soul. Little and cute and happy soul. Do you want to meet the love of your life? Look in the mirror and strive. Not everyday internet, some days outer net. Negative thoughts don't enter my inner matrix. Give thanks to the source that creates life. Sit back and take 5.
Okay.
I mean.
So what you both had in common? I don't know. Do you know what I hate? is
Copycats.
that you both do this. Everyone tries to do this American thing. This whole breath cadence. Da-dun, da-da.
Is that what I did?
100%.
Didn't even realise.
Yeah, you did.
We didn't even realise. Okay.
But I done the highs and lows.
Do you struggle to not do that when you're
I hate doing it.
your...
That's why I don't like looking at other poets.
Right.
Because
okay.
there's a cade like
Thanks, babe. Thanks,
Do you want to go?
Oh, thanks, honey.
Do you
Okay,
want me to
we're
stop?
ready
Do you
for
want me to
the...
stop?
Thank you, Babs.
Okay.
We're ready for the winner.
No. We'll explain why.
The whole open the door, close the door. I'm so confused. Like,
Okay.
I don't know why you. Whenever people hear poetry, they think they need to do these dramatic pauses,
Oh, yeah.
these dramatic stops,
That is so
these
funny.
sellers, and I'm like, guys, just say it.
Right.
Just speak
Does
it.
does that not kind of emphasise
Do you know
the
what?
dramaticness of it all?
I
then?
saw the sun.
Yeah, just
Spoke to me so deeply in the air, and then
no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
died.
No, don't.
Brilliant.
And you know when,
Brilliant,
when you
right.
just chat crap like that, you don't even, you like, I saw the
Like,
sun.
yes.
I saw it too.
And she know, but you've got somebody that will do that, and I'm like, you're a liar. You're an
You
absolute
didn't even
liar.
see the sun. You woke up late. Shut your mouth.
Do you know what I mean? So, no. Do you know what? I give it to you. I don't know how long you had. You had to write yours.
I had like half an hour.
It was a dream song, but I commend you that you broke up the lyrics and you made it your own.
I'm on about
You didn't even know it was Drew Hill.
No, not until you said it. But the Lord, that prayer is such a black prayer that is. Or black people. I can guarantee you that a lot of Black Caribbean kids had to say that before they went to sleep.
Yeah.
Because it was just something they had to say. I respect all your quotes.
Thanks.
All of them.
I don't know if he was trying to rhyme. But there was some times where she was, you know, we do the wink and the wink, and I was just like.
So I was excited.
I don't know how it rhymes, but if it rhymes, because you know some people,
We're gonna make it rhyme tonight.
It rhymed in your head.
Right.
It didn't really rhyme out loud. But I commend you guys. I would challenge you though. I would challenge
Love
you.
a challenge.
Yeah, man.
You love a challenge.
Yeah, man.
I would challenge you to take out the sellers, the little dramatic pauses,
Okay.
and to use
try.
your own cadence,
your
your own rhythm.
Absolutely.
So, cadence is the rhythm, the flow and rhythm that you use.
Okay.
So when you go to, Americans have what you just the whole that, and I found that when I started doing spoken word and I went into that open mics and stuff like that, I heard a lot of people doing that. That thing.
That's not your
That
bag.
is,
It jars you. Oh, interesting.
I just want to take off my shoe and just knock it, conk it, or
I just want to
is
take
actually
off
what
my
makes
shoe
you-
and
yeah, that is so annoying. That's so annoying because why?
Clearly I watched too much
Yeah, because why are you doing all of this? Why are you taking me here, there, everywhere? Like it's just because I've got to try and and then you know the poems that, and also you cheated, but make sure that your poem it would be nice to have your poem has a theme.
Oh, I was all over the place.
Yeah, because I didn't know if you was talking about the love of your life or being a girl that's trying to find herself.
pick the correct quotes next time.
I'm slightly confused, and I definitely.
Yeah, do you know when you just try and put it all together?
Okay.
But and also poetry. One thing that I've learned that it takes time. There's a lot of drafting and editing and taking out
Okay.
that you just need to do. And also with the words that you're trying to play on and trying to rhyme, it's not just. I think people think you can just write a poem and boom.
Well, that's
That's not
right. So then that brings me.
So you can have all of that.
Okay, go on.
You can have all of that, but then now you take out the parts that
Right.
are relevant, that make it actually make sense.
100. I
Get
needed
it.
more time.
So you just need a bit of time.
I
So
love
then
that.
that-
For anyone listening that is
It's
interested.
just
Thank you
man.
so much.
Don't and one thing that I used to don't overthink what you're
Right.
trying to say. A lot of the times, I think what we should do. is have conversations with yourself. So in the spur of the moment, if someone's talking about love, because everyone speaks about love, but everyone's experience is different. So that is why we've got all these love songs, but they're not all the same.
Right. But we can all relate to
You know, Keisha Cole's love is different from Beyonce's love.
Yes.
But yet you love the same song because they're speaking from their experience. I always normally do this whole free write where you just continuously write on a theme. And then after like maybe time yourself for 15 minutes, look at what you wrote, and then you take out the bits that you really resonate with. Do you know what I mean? And then when that resonates with you, you do it again. Or what would you find yourself in that predicament, in that area? What would you do? Or even have a conversation with yourself.
Do you do master
I was
classes
just
on
gonna
it?
say.
No, I don't.
Would you?
Oh, 100%. I'm trying to get...
Trying?
I'm getting...
Working.
I'm working on... That's it. I love that. I love that correction. I'm working on getting a format together so that people can... Yeah. Because I feel like people...
Have somewhere to come to kind of get that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
a lot of people wouldn't even know where to start.
Where to start. And I know that because our mind... I always say that our mind is the conscious and our heart's the subconscious. And sometimes the two collide, so then you get confused because your heart says one thing, your mind says something, but we don't know how to interchange it. And if you can...
We're always battling with the two, aren't we?
You're battling with the two because it's like, do I follow my mind or my heart? But if you understood that your heart's the subconscious you and your mind's the conscious you, and if you found a balance where you can interchangeably use the two and get that correct and right, then you are well on your way if you're a poet, or not even just a poet, a creative or a deep thinker, to finding a perfect balance and a stable mindset. Do you get it?
Absolutely.
Am I being a bit deep?
No, I love it.
We love it deep.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No. No
And she's dirty gal too. She likes it too deep. No, I definitely want to. But what I want to do that I love poet. I love that. Poetess Jess. I love everything you've just said. You've actually blown my mind. That's what you did to me in the thing. That's what you did to me when you speak like that. It's like, oh, yeah, it turns me on. Gotta say, I just love it. So just quickly then, just so we can kind of get how you went from being in the playground and you flopped.
So I'm in the playground now. I flopped. I found this P4CM and I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But then I done soul searching. So I went into I went and I done journalism, learned how to write shorthand, all of that. Which is all relevant. Because do you know what? Yeah, when you look at what you've done, I never saw the alignment. We never ever look at the alignment when we're in something. We just look at where we are. Yeah. So I learned shorthand, all of that jazz, and I think when I done journalism, that was the only thing that I liked. I hate sub-editing. I hated editing. I just thought it was the NCTJ was just that was the course that I was on.
Just because a lot of people didn't excite you, I guess.
It didn't excite me. Creative writing didn't excite me. Just nothing excited me. Went into retail and I got discouraged because I was thinking, all my friends are doing this, they're doing that, and what am I doing? Why didn't I have a plan or a goal when there was like careers day and people knew what they were doing?
I was 16, 15.
But I'm just here trying to go with the flow of life. Does it work like that? But in some cases, if you find yourself in that position, let it flow, because you know what? The very thing that you're looking for is right in front of you. And I didn't know that it was right in front of me. So I just, again, was on this whole soul searching. Then in 2016, I became a youth worker. I volunteered. So basically, the church that I used to go to, they had a hub next door. And I volunteered in the hub one of the summers. And just by chance, by me volunteering, shout out to volunteering because it really works. It gives you a really good job. Volunteering, they were like, no, we want Jess back. So I went back there and I became a worker. My manager at the time, who I met in 2013, Tanya Aqua, big up Tanya, because she's
so good with names, aren't you?
I always have to remember a name because I want to be able to.
But remember it.
To remember and just know that
person was impactful for whatever reason.
100%. So Tanya, I met Tanya in 2013 and I worked alongside her. With working alongside Tanya, she saw my ability, my creative. I didn't see it. But so she had heard me in a church and I went and jumped on board on what she was doing. She had this this Tia ministry group called Tia, The Inner Attitude. And she was writing a play and she wanted it to be just like a little local play, innit? Like a little, just use a church and hire out the church and have people come. And she got me and another young lady, Marge, to narrate a play in spoken word. Something that I've never done.
Yeah.
So she is now bringing me out of, because I wasn't really exercising my craft.
Yeah.
So I know that it was there, but do you know when you start having a muscle, until you exercise it, you will never know the strength.
It's just limp.
But so I had this ability, but it wasn't sharpened. It's like writing on a blunt pencil.
Yeah.
It's blunt. It works, but it's faint.
Not coming out.
It's not coming out until you sharpen it. Do you get it? So she saw the gift. She saw. She saw the poet. She saw that I can actually sharpen this gift. I can sharpen it. So what she did was she sent me the challenge, and she made us narrate the play. Little did we know that the play went to Catford Theatre. The play went to Fairfield Halls. The play went to Birmingham.
Wow.
The play went to South Africa.
Stop.
The play went worldwide.
Say the ting, man.
Worldwide.
Say it. Say it with your whole chest. Jess.
I love it.
So the play went. It blew basically.
Yeah, man.
The play blew and it was called Broken.
Okay.
And that is when I was at Catford Theatre and I that's when I was like, when people were coming up to me and were like, nah, you're
smashing it.
I was like, oh my gosh, like really? But they were like, no, you're amazing. But again, you never ever focus on what people are saying to you. You always focus on where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes where you're at is not enough for you.
Right.
So,
yeah.
and because I didn't have the resources, I didn't know who to turn to. Like, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. But I still continued.
You had a whole volcano there.
I had. Do you know what? I still didn't know that poetry was my thing.
Yeah.
Although I could do it, it wasn't something that I was like, I wanted to.
Okay. Right.
I never I never ever thought I could make a living out of it. I always saw it as just being a hobby.
Yeah.
But even when I done Broken, I still didn't. So the gift got sharpened, but the top of the pen still kind of broke.
Yeah.
So it still needed to be sharpened. Mm-hmm. So I walked with Tanya, and she had these sessions where she had girls come in, and I would do spoken word here and there, but it was the old poems that I was doing. I wasn't really coming with anything new.
Okay.
Everything was what I had already done. So then, 2017, what happens is because she was the manager of the youth hub, when they're starting a new school year, and like schools, colleges, unis, they would send everything.
Come and have an open day.
We're having an open day.
Right.
So she saw a leaflet or a flyer for a uni that were looking for spoken word artists. They were looking for spoken word artists. They were creating a new course.
Right.
Excuse me. They were creating a new course, and there were spoken word artists, dancers, actors, everyone. So she was like, oh, Jess, I've just seen this course. I think you should be interested in it.
100%.
And it was uni. And I was just like,
the uni thing. Okay, yeah.
What are you talking about? And at this time, I had gone past, like, my peers had graduated. And I think I was like 26.
Okay.
At the time.
Okay.
Or 20. No. Yeah. I was at 25.
You're a mature student.
25?
Is what it, yeah.
I was a mature student.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I'm saying.
Which is quite, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, to go, I've not been
studied
for so long. Why do I want to bring myself back into that? And by the time I come out, I'm going to be like 28. That's what I was saying. I was like...
Right, okay.
So, I was just didn't want to do it, but she was like, I think it would be good for you. So it was the Guildhall School of Music and Drama.
Wow.
By the way, I didn't know, and at the time, I didn't know about the Guildhall School of Music and Drama.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like one of these big universities.
Yeah.
Had no idea. So anyway, we done that application form, and then they sent it in, and they replied back and said, "Okay, we want you to come in. We've got 2 auditions." Cool. So I went in, and it was a group audition, and then it was an individual audition. So the group audition was okay. It was a group. Just kind of got to follow, call and respond. Oh, do this, do that, whatnot.
Okay.
It was the individual.
Like a team build, a teamwork thing, that one, isn't it? Yeah.
So it was the individual one now where I had to do a spoken word. So I said, okay, let me do the spoken word piece that I done for the play.
Makes sense. You know, it's bangs.
Again, it was kind of the only one I knew.
Bangs, yeah.
So I've done this play and I've gone out there and I'm like, like
giving it all the dramatics.
Because there's a panel of like 5 actors, poets,
just for the audition.
Yeah, it was very pressuring. Like they've all been on TV, and one of the poets, his work gets like you know the AQA books that we done for English.
Yeah.
We revised
that.
No, we revised his poems for GCSE.
Wow. So a bit of pressure.
It's a bit of pressure. Babe. So I'm like, giving it. And then I remember Dinah Stab. She said to me, okay, so now what I want you to do is, I want you to pretend that there's nobody in the room. And I want you just to speak to me by myself. And I was like, okay, I've got this, I can do it. And then I remember I done the poem and then I just started crying.
Is that the first time you felt it?
Yeah, like tears just flew down I was crying and in my mind I'm thinking, why am I crying? Like, what's going on?
They probably love that.
I don't know. And then she was just like, it's okay.
It's
I was
beautiful.
just crying.
Hang on, so before that you hadn't felt
I hadn't felt it.
Wow.
I'm just saying it because I know it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of us, we go through life just doing it and not connecting.
I feel like they probably loved that you cried.
So I was crying tears. I was like, oh my God, why am I crying? And that was that. And I just thought, I'm not.
You fluffed it.
That's it. I'm not going to get it. And then maybe a week and a bit later, I got, congratulations, you have been offered.
Rude.
They have to do paperwork.
Because it had gone from like thousands to hundreds to tens.
Wow.
To, I think it ended up with 12 of us being in a class.
Okay.
And Bashi's sister being one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking of Bashi.
So it was so funny that you said that. So So I remember, and so I got offered a place on a conditional offer. And the conditional offer was that I had to write about identity. Little did I know that when I was walking with Tanya, we were doing a project about identity. So everything just aligned itself.
Wow. Don't you love that? Don't you love that when you look back and you're like,
oh, sure.
What the...
Didn't even know.
Didn't even know. So I was like, I'm definitely getting in. Conditional offer. Oh, like, I'm getting in. Anyway, I got into the Guildhall and
well done.
When I got there, I still thought, what am I doing here? Because I just thought, I've got like 4 poems.
Okay.
And all my pairs, they were born with silver spoons in their mouth. They were coming from the Brit school, like parents in orchestras. Like they had already had a life where I'm just this girl from Essex. Because we moved back to Essex and lived in Essex. But I'm just this girl from Essex, or originally from Newham. What am I doing here?
Why do we do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, we do that, don't we? We do. We don't know that you earned that place.
Yeah.
You know, just as
more
much,
than them.
if not even more so.
Even more.
Just didn't know. And then, you know, so it was just like, wow, okay. So my first term was I spent my first time analysing my peers.
Okay.
So I looked at, okay, so you're here for this and this is where you want to go. You're here for this is what you want to go. And me, I'm not there for anything yet, but I'm just going to see what yous are doing and I'm going to try and come back with something. So that when my first term ended, when I went back in 2018, New Year, I went back as Poetess Jess. So I made sure that my break...
Know yourself.
I came back and I was like, do you know what? I'm Poetess Jess, although it was cringy at the time. I've come back with a name. I came back with a logo. Artistic portfolio.
I've arrived.
I have arrived, hunting.
No.
So I came back that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a poet. And I remember when I even applied for the Guildhall and I had the conversation with my mum that, you know, I got into the Guildhall. She was like, couldn't you do that over evening though? Like, no one really believed in the source.
Yeah.
No one believed in the source until now.
Yeah.
They didn't believe in the source.
Yeah.
They didn't believe in the source, but I still had to, you know what, I paid my money, so I've got to make sure I see it to the end. And then as time went on, I understood that this is actually a big thing. And that I'm not even just here for myself as a black girl, but I'm here for every other black girl or black person that didn't make it.
Listen.
Because I remember speaking to another girl who's now gone on to do great things. And I remember she said that she applied for the Guildhall and they told her no. And I was like, wow.
And she's amazing.
She's amazing now. Yeah, she's an actor now. You see her on big actor.
Okay.
But now I'm like, I've definitely got to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not just doing it for me, but I'm doing it because now this is bigger than me.
You literally giving me goosebumps. I swear. You give me like.
Sorry. So this is now
Sorry.
bigger than me. This is bigger than me. So I've got to make sure that when my niece and my nephew see this, that they're like, my aunt done that. That's my aunt. You know what I mean? That's my cousins that are my cousins. That's my cousin. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really wanted not just to make my family proud, but my community, that people can see. Because even when I saw, because Michaela Cole, she went there, and I was like, I'm gonna be. You're gonna see my name. You're gonna see my name. So I went through uni. I came out with a 2-1, and I was so close to a first. I was so close to a first class.
That's amazing.
But I came out with a 2-1. But even when I came out, I still went through this cycle of comparing myself to other people. I still felt like I wasn't good enough. I was actually, in 2018, 19, I was going to quit. I was going to give up spoken word. I was going to throw in the towel. And I remember it was 2018. Because I didn't know that there was a spoken word community.
Right.
It's only when I became Poetess Jess
that you were introduced to people.
Not just that. I just looked for poets.
Okay.
And you know Natalie from Flowetry.
Yeah.
She's got a.
Well, her she's from the other girl. Is it Marsha? She's from Liverpool, isn't she?
Yeah. So Natalie's a spoken word artist, and she has a night called The Vortex in Streatham, the Hideaway.
Yeah.
So I added up all those poets and everything like that, and you know they were absolutely loving and amazing. And when I created because I deleted my personal page, created a new Poetess Jess page, added them. This is it, and they were doing little challenges, and I thought, you know what, no one can see my work or what I'm about. Let me jump on the challenge. Jumped on the challenge. They loved me, and I thought, okay, this is nice. And it gets to a point where you got to do things by yourself.
Yes.
You have to understand that where you're going, not everyone can come with you. It's either not everyone can come with you, not everyone wants to come with you because they don't understand the journey.
I was just about to say, this is not their journey.
Yeah, they're not their journey. So they're probably like, no, I did that.
I'd rather stay in
there
a little.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had to learn, Jess, if you are going to do this for you, you've got to go places by yourself. So
got to get comfortable.
And you've got to get comfortable being a Poetess Jess. If this is what you really want to
say
do,
the name
and own it.
Own it.
So I went to the Hideaway and I done a spoken word.
I did always want to go because she has it on Instagram. I always saw it. Yeah.
Amazing. I went then. I done my first spoken word piece, and that was in December 2018. And then from there, I just started to go on open mics. And open mics, I turned into just being an open micer to headlining. But even so, what I was doing, I was comparing my beginning to other people's middles. So I was comparing myself, and it was an unfair. It was unfair how I was comparing myself.
Compatibility or whatever. Yeah.
So then, I was gonna quit. So was gonna quit in 2019. One of the boys that I do spoken word with, Terrell and Mr. Reed, two of them. He rang me and was like, "Oh, my name's Terrell. I'm doing a spoken word night alongside with Kojo the comedian, and I heard that you're a banging, big up Kojo. I heard that you're a banging spoken word artist. I want to invite you down to be an open micer, da-da-da-da. Me not thinking anything of it. I think this was the last carnival weekend, you know, before the pandemic. Yeah, it was.
Don't call it the last, just call it the halt.
The halt before it paused.
Don't scare us.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to come. And it was at the W Hotel in London.
Fancy.
Very fancy. But didn't think anything of it. I didn't even think Kojo was going to be there. I just thought his name was just there.
Yeah, he's promoting it, whatever.
So I went there and I done my spoken word piece and they were like, oh my days, yeah. So Kojo came up to me and he was like, I need you at the Black Magic Awards. Like, you're amazing, what and whatnot. Done the Black Magic Awards and that's when I said, I'm not doing spoken word because I thought, I was looking at other people. People had like thousands of followers. I was probably on like 500 followers. It was just hard and trying to be recognised and like everyone else had accolades and I was just like, all I have is the Guildhall score.
Right.
And it was just hard for me. So I was like, yeah, I'm giving up. But the boys sat me down, Mr. Reed and Terrell, big up your chest. They sat me down and they were like, no, do you know how amazing you are? If I'm not winning, you're not winning. If I'm winning, you're winning. Right. We're going to make they really, really were just encouraging me. But I still thought, this is it. And I said to them, after the Black Magic Awards, this is just it. This was it. Anyway, done the spoken word cipher at the Black Magic Awards, and this is why you don't know who's in the audience because it was the Black Magic Awards. There was influencers, there were actors, there were entrepreneurs. Big thing. About maybe a few days later, Terrell rang me and was like, Jess. I was like, Terrell.
Yeah.
And he says to me, all right, so I've got something for us. Ooh, I'm like, what? Terrell? Well, he was like, Kanye King wants us to be a group. She saw us at the Black Magic Awards. She wants me, you, and Reed to come up with something and perform at this marketing society. Amazing. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Mobo
Awards.
Oh wow.
Carney King put us together and we became the wordsmiths. And we done... let me tell you, we done a piece for the Marketing Society. Now, the Marketing Society, it was their 60th year anniversary or birthday, and it was like Google, IBM, Cancer Research, Coca-Cola, and some other businesses well known, and we had to perform like all of them. Yeah, rich
amazing
white people. Yeah, and it was like, wow, what? And then just from there on, we started doing things for Kanye King. Started doing things here, there, everywhere. Like she was like, yeah. And when I mean the P it wasn't a little
doll cover.
Oh no! It wasn't like a couple hundreds.
Okay, girl.
It was a big bag.
Girl, we see.
It was a big bag. Like the big bag.
And
every time we done an event, we were on it.
Every time you understood the
assignment. We understood.
the assignment.
But we didn't even understand the assignment because I think it was the last live event that we done for Kanye King. We done it with an orchestra. Yeah.
Damn.
A whole fucking orchestra.
Let me tell you, it was the quickest bag I made in my life. I flopped every word. We flopped.
Fuck.
It flopped.
Oh, God.
But did they realise it's flopped?
I know.
They were crying tears.
That's happy tears. Do you know
And
what? But when you love it, you can flop and just bring it back, and no one will even know. When you speak from the heart, and today when I listened to your, I only went on your page today when I was listening, because I was like, I wanted to put a post out that you was coming, and it's not the last post you done about the dad. It's the one before that that resonated with me, because where I am right now, I was like, wow. Everything you were saying, do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, sometimes the hardest part of the journey is believing your worth.
Believing your worth.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I felt it. I got goosebumps. I wanted to cry just listening to it because I felt every single thing you were saying. Like, it's so hard believing in yourself. And as you're telling your story, I understand where that poem came from. You're literally talking your own, I was going to say shit, but your own story. Yeah. You're talking your own journey. But it's amazing how many people resonate with it because they're going through the same thing.
100%.
So I appreciate you for that.
Oh, bless you. And then from there, we got to do Mobo Awards. And then it's just like now things are just popping. It's coming. It's like want you here, want you there, and like I was at the Albright in Mayfair, and it's crazy to know that I was gonna just say no and give up and throw in the towel because I wasn't. Because they always say never look back, innit? But I have to look back because I need to remember where I came from.
Right.
I've got to remember like what brought me here, innit?
Yes.
So the poem that you heard, excuse me, at the DMD. Sorry, the poem that you heard at the DMD.
Needed the water for you, babe.
It's all right, my lovely. That was coming from because I was gonna quit spoken words.
Right. So that was you writing to yourself.
To myself before you quit. Remember why you started.
I felt like you were talking to us.
No, I wrote that for
right.
for myself because I had to. That poem keeps me in check, like Jess.
Yeah. Right.
It's something that I can always refer back to. I always refer back to the poem because it's before you quit. Remember, why did you start this, Jess? Why are you doing this? So I always remember to myself, Jess, you're not doing it because you just enjoy doing it, but really and truly, you are giving what you were given. Do you know what I mean? You're here to serve others with what you're doing.
It's selfish otherwise.
It's selfish for me to have this gift
and not
to share it with you.
Yes.
It's like me, everyone's hungry, I've got the food and I'm not sharing it.
Yeah.
Do you know how rude that is?
You're also starving
That's wicked,
yourself.
bro.
I'm starving yourself as well.
And then not just that, not even that, I become fat and I'm just gonna die.
You know what I mean? You got all the food there and you're not sharing.
And I start getting problems now, innit? You
can't walk.
No, you can't walk, all got heartache.
Look at where it's going. Like, look at.
Do you know what I mean? So I've realised, and don't get me wrong, there are times that I still doubt myself. There are times where I compare myself still. There are times where I think I'm not good enough. But I always go back to that, Jess, before you quit, remember why you started. Do you know what I mean? I always got to go back to Jess, look where you came from.
I wonder though if that is actually a driving force as well a lot of the times, in a healthy way. Do you know what I mean? I think you should definitely know and appreciate what you've got and, you know, everything that you've achieved and everything that is to come for you. But I think there is a level of kind of, I guess, humbleness in a way to kind of have those feelings to drive you further. As long as you're using it, it's like you just said about, you know, when you used the analogy of your heart and your mind. I know that's my heart and that's mine. You know, it's that, isn't it? It's kind of working that to in your favour, basically.
100%, and that's where I get the analogy from, because I just look at myself and then I always remember, also because I'm Christian as well, like I always have to remember, like, God won't take me where my character can't keep me. So I've always got to keep my character in check as well. I'm not higher than anybody else. So sometimes it's a bit cringing when people are like, oh my gosh, you're famous, or, you know, or like when people come with that, because it's like
that. But you must understand that some people who are not even there are looking at you like that.
That's why. So I have to understand that. So I have to understand, okay, I get that. But when I hear things like that, although it cringes me, it humbles me.
Yeah.
Right.
It reminds me, but then it also gives me that motivation to tell them,
you're amazing
you can
too.
be here too.
And you can be here too.
Yeah.
You know?
You can be here too. Because if I sat you down and I told you what I went through and what my family went through and what I had to do to get here,
you would know.
You will know that I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Do you know? You'll know that, you will understand that.
People only see the now. People only see the
and
however many thousand followers, or you know, 100. You doing your headline and your shows and stuff. People see that. They don't see the journey.
And they don't see the journey. Like,
and this is why this is great to speak about it on these platforms.
Like, there are days that I've cried. I'm like, where I want to have content and content's not coming, and I've cried. I would say that I am very hard on myself. And I need to be easy. I need to just chill. Like, just, you have the ability. And I think as long as I remember that, you know what, you have the ability, it will come to you. But there's been times where I've cried myself. I don't know. I've put one of the poems on my because lockdown was a very hard 2 years for everybody, 18 months for everybody, and. You know, lockdown, you find yourself with yourself. So you've got to face yourself, because sometimes the busyness of life can distract us. So we forget ourselves and what we're going through, and that we disconnect from a lot of emotions. But lockdown where everyone found themselves with themselves.
And you were forced into it.
So you were forced to sit down and look at the little cuts that you didn't cover up, or you were forced to sit down and look at your brokenness and look at your hurt and every unresolved, unhealed issue that you have. And I think that's that's where I was at a place where I had to look at my brokenness. It's not always sunshine, do you know what I mean? I had to look at the hurts. I had to look, okay, in this area I need to get healed. In that area I need to get healed. In that, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I had to understand that for me to pour out, someone has to pour into me. Do you understand? So I had to sit down with myself, and it was very painful. It was very, very painful, but it was also beautiful
in the end,
because I was finding myself more than what I thought I did. So yeah, that's my story.
Woo! Lord of mercy, girl.
Yeah, it's been and it's, do you know what? As much as there's been heartache and there's been pain and there's been tears, there's also been some greatness. I've met some fantastic. I've met you two.
Baby girl, do you know what? That's what I was going to say. Come back to us.
Hello.
That's what I was, and I know you're on a thingy, but I'll try and drop you actually so we can take some time. Because we haven't finished. No, but I know you've got to go and be bossy and fabulous. But think of all the names that you mentioned in that story. Yeah. Tanya.
Yeah,
Tanya,
she's the main.
Boom.
Yeah.
The other poet that you...
Terrell, Mr. Reed,
you know,
Kojo,
if those people wouldn't have encouraged you and seen the light and known and had the vision, you could have quit many a times in that story, babes. You know what I'm saying? So this is the beauty of people, and I know that, you know, sometimes humans, we may not, but this is why sometimes when you meet people, I know they say, you know, oh, I may not have known you for that long, or, you know, you think, oh...
But it's not about the length.
It's not about the length,
this
is what I'm saying, babe. Yeah, you know, because you could have a friend for 20 years and she may not even, like you said, the friends that you were trying to get to come to, you know, give you that little support and stuff, that they were not on it, and then you've gone on your own and you've met people that were literally like, you are the shit. This is going to happen. And I just think that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
I was going to add to what everything Asha said, but sometimes your friends do not see the vision. They don't see it, how far you can go, because they know you from before you was that.
Yes.
So they don't know. Sometimes we don't always verbalise our goals.
Yes.
We're like, I want to do this, but I don't want to say anything because and then you'll meet someone and they'll be like, you know what you could do? You could do this, and you're like,
honey,
I was thinking that.
It's so funny, sorry.
And outside people see it more than your friends sometimes.
It's true.
Because they know you too well.
I went on a podcast last night, big up the girls, full-time job, thank you for having me. And they said to me, they're on like their first 2 episodes, and they were like, Asha, they were like, do you find that your friends don't really... I guess, I don't want to use the word, it's a bit strong, but support you. It's not like my friends are not supporting me, but they were like, basically, like, a lot of our friends, they're not listening, they're not reposting, they're not sharing, they're not making
they don't know
and
that you need that.
I said, girls, you've got to,
we need it.
Do you know how important it is?
No, but I said, you've got to let that go. I said, you've got to let that go. I said, because unfortunately, you will find that it's your people that you don't
strangers that made us.
That are your
friends are your supporters.
And it's not that your friends are not supported, they're just, it's what you've just said, because they've known you and they just don't see it. It's like, oh yeah, Asha, she's cool and she's but is that nah?
What's she doing?
Do you know what?
I've always said people see sight, they don't see vision.
Oh girl,
Specsavers. See vision. People's vision's blurred, so they see sight. They can only see what is in front of them. Yeah. They can never see ahead. Because ask any of my friends now, or even some family members, they would never, even my mum, and my parents, even that, like, they would never have thought that it would have gone this far. And even myself, not even them, just me being the poet, never would have thought that I could make.
Never would have made it.
Come on.
Without you.
Come on, never.
I mean, can we just say, guys, as well, that you've been nominated for
Best Poet
in the UK Entertainment Awards.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think voting's closed
Voting
now,
is
isn't
closed.
it? But
I
did as much as
But I thought the voting would close today, but like later on today.
Oh, is it?
Because you know what? Yeah.
Oh no, we just missed it, guys.
No, it closed. No. As in, like maybe at 12 a.m. when it went 12. It was just closed.
Okay.
I thought because do you know what? Yeah, UK Entertainment Awards. Let me tell you, you guys were late to put out the link. You should have been late to close it.
That's right.
That is fair.
Right. That's right.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair. But I'm gonna just blind you with this one.
Okay, that's fine. You know, it's all. How long have the UK Entertainment Awards been a thing? I feel like it's all learning progress.
I don't know.
Okay, it's learning progress. But you're on there. You're on the bill.
I'm on the day.
You're on the bill.
A nomination is a great thing.
The recognition in itself
100%.
is a blessing, and I've got no doubt that it's going to be your name pulled out that hat, bro.
Bless
the
Lord.
Yeah, man. That's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful achievement in itself, Jess. So, yeah, I did vote a few times.
I've got a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
How can everyone listening to this podcast support you?
Oh,
what can we do to support you? What do you need us to do? What would you
do? You know what?
And be like, motherfuckers, I want you to follow my page. I want you guys to follow Jess. And I want you guys to listen to her. And I want you guys to interact with her and
interact.
And
comment. Do you know what I would love? So I just released my debut single, Before You Quit, and I would love for you
the week over
to
here.
Stream it. I'd love for you to send it to a friend because you know what? It's motivation. It's encouragement. I would really love for you just to send it around. Send it to your mum, your dad, your cat, your dog, your mouse. Send it. Just
that
send
mouse.
it.
You know you got that mouse.
you know. Even rich people got their mouse.
Yeah,
send it
cat
to
mouse.
everyone that you know. And yeah, just listen. Just come on my page. Leave me a comment, a repost, whatever. I'm not asking for everything. I'm asking is free.
Everything you're asking for is what they do for Beyonce and
100%. Who don't know you, don't even recognise you. But try and know if you do it. I'm gonna give you the little shout. I'll remember your name.
Literally,
you are definitely good with names.
You remember the name.
I will remember your name.
Sorry, you dropped another name.
I will definitely remember your name. But no, that's it really.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for much. But yeah, just keep out on the lookout for Poetess.
I was going to say, so what kind of, is there anything, I feel like we definitely need to come and support the next show, as and when that is. I know things are picking up now,
Yeah,
so
so
hopefully...
things, do you know what it is? A lot of the things that I'm doing are more like corporate events. So they're not shows like, oh my gosh, I ticketed.
Okay.
I've got a few things in store, got a little play in store, got a little musical project in store.
Okay.
But we'll find out when we follow your page.
Follow.
Yeah, that's it really. It's nothing too much, nothing too big.
Don't do that.
It is too big. It's all big.
It's all big. It's all relevant.
It's big. It's relevant. That's
right.
hefty.
It's you.
It's hefty. Need two shoulders to chat about.
So yeah, I mean, you've blown me away. Once again.
Really
every time I see you, every time I speak to you, every time I see you on the Instagram, you've blown me away, we are absolutely so privileged that you've graced us with your presence today.
I feel like it's like you gracing me with your presence.
Wow, and isn't that amazing? Yeah, no, and that's amazing.
We've made it.
That's amazing in itself.
Like being, do you know what? Even just being, like I said, I like to get invited to things, so I feel so like, oh my gosh, guys, you want me? Like, that's
I was
how
like, because I was like, you might not, do you know what I mean? Just because, I know you're busy, girl.
No.
We're little itty bitty podcast, little itty bitty main squeeze, so, but we do this thing called Bop of the Week every episode, where we play our bops of the week. So whatever song that we're listening to, do you know what? It doesn't have to be anything recent. It could be something old, something new, something that just means something to you. So I guess I could go first. I don't know if you have one, Dan, but I can.
Oh, are we playing it?
Yeah, we play.
Guys,
guys,
there's quite a few. I'm never gonna lie to you. But
okay, we'll go. You.
No, you go
do
ahead.
the thing. You do the thing.
No, you didn't do that. No. He's playing my
My
spoken
Bobby.
word song. No. Oh my gosh, the boys did this to me. Oh God.
Babe, lap it up.
Did you know that you were graced for purpose? And everything that you went through in your life, you went through on purpose. Only for you to give birth to your purpose. You see, you were designed for destiny. You were called to be mighty. You are a landmark of greatness. Your character is courageous. Your energy is contagious. Your mindset is blameless. You are giving and gracious. You are not selfish, but you are selfless. And it's not that you do not think about yourself. You just think of yourselfless. So
Do you have to play the whole song?
It's like 6 minutes long, you're going to be late.
Well, Spotify might cancel us if we play too much of it. So, but yes, my book of the week is Poetess Jess. Before You Quit. You can find it on Spotify.
That is amazing.
Download, like we said, share, play, listen, love, enjoy. And yeah, that's my book of the week, guys.
Oh my gosh, that is so. It's so love. It's like it's amazing, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like I hate the sound of my own voice. That's what it is.
Shut up, Ben. Love the sound of
You're
your
gonna have to get over
voice.
that, girl.
You gotta be
You gotta get over
streamed.
that, girl.
You just asked them all to stream you, babe.
I know.
Start loving it.
No, but I'm the same, and people go, hang on, you got a whole podcast, how can you not like your own voice? But I'm actually growing to love it, to be fair, 'cause I have to listen to it every 2 weeks.
I think I need to just.
Yeah,
listen to
well, I
it.
have to listen.
Yeah.
I listen every 2 weeks to this, so I have grown to love it.
Yeah. Okay, so my bop is let me play it.
Play the ting.
Is actually believing you're worth the truth. Oh my gosh!
I'm done.
On these high spots.
Oh.
You know that there's a chance that
You could have got me to do this live, guys. That's true. Well, stop the thing. Stop the thing, man. Stop the thing.
Alright, so we're gonna do my bop of the week live.
Oh, do you want
This is the one that this is the one I posted today.
Okay.
I didn't want to put you on the spot like that.
Oh no,
though.
I don't. Do you know what? I always
Right.
come prepared.
Okay,
Gotta be
because I
ready
didn't
in and
know
out
whether
season.
you're going to like send us an invoice. I was like,
No.
We'll just play it. We'll just play it.
There's no turn up at my door.
No, here we go.
Management.
I'm gonna join. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, we need to film it.
Okay.
Okay, you got
It's
it.
not gonna start from there, but it will start.
No.
From, okay.
Do your thing, baby girl.
What do you call it when your palms are sweaty? When your brain is on death row because your thoughts are deadly. When your back is in a slouch because the weight of being unsure is so heavy. What do you call it when your own thoughts are against you? When anxiety is your brother and stress is your nephew and doubt is your mother and your failures correct you? What do you call it when you can't get on your feet? When the world says you can't and your own brain says you're weak? When your faith is a mess and you start to trust God less? Day by day your faith gets less. Day by day your faith gets less. See, sometimes the hardest part of the journey is actually believing you're worth the trip. You want to reach all these goals, hit all these high spots, but there's a chance that your foot may slip. You've got a bucket list, but you're bound by fear. You've got all this drive, but you can't stare. You're praying for directions, but you can't hear. Now it's the same bucket you use to catch your tears, I swear. It's like you stand alone like a table with no chairs. It's like you're standing, but you know you're going to fall. So you've already made up in your mind that you're going to crawl, because even baby steps got you feeling like you can't balance at all. And on a scale of 1 to 10, the weight you carry isn't small. See, I know that you're tired of giving your all, thinking your all's never good enough. But let me tell you, on that road to self-discovery, that road gets very tough. And I know that you're tired of changing for people who don't recognize you're changing. You keep having to explain, finding yourself drifting, aimlessly wandering from place to place. See, for what it's worth, you're the only one that can decide your worth. So don't be defined by the pennies in your purse. And we'll stop there.
What?
Yeah, man.
Oh, bless you.
Amazing.
Ooh, well, that's our, but I don't think we need any. I mean, unless you've got something you really want to share, but I kind of feel like.
Unless it's
I've
you,
got a
yeah,
bop,
you
but
wanna
it's a
hear
really
it.
good bop.
All right, go on then.
I
I
go on,
just
go on.
top that bop.
All right.
That bop cannot be topped. Okay, cool.
You know the artist Lally. Me like him
Hello.
Hey! Hey!
I knew it. Oh yeah.
No, let's see you do it.
I actually can't remember the dance.
Oh my god, you're doing it!
Oh, you need someone else to come.
That was so amazing! Big up the chest girls. Big up.
Thank you, Jess, for joining us on the Main Squeeze podcast. She's our whole squeeze.
No,
Yeah,
you guys are the main squeeze, though.
Thank you,
Amazing.
guys.
Thank you,
Love up.
honey.
And we'll see you next week or the week